I did my PhD training with Professor Deepak Vashisht at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, and I did my postdoc with Professor Tamara Alliston at UCSF, and they were really both instrumental to my training and career development, and they've really become good friends and lifelong mentors to me. In my current position, in my senior mentors around Washington University in St. Louis I have a lot of senior colleagues that are passionate mentors and really crucial collaborators to a lot of my research projects. Some of them include Matt Silva, Laurie Seton, Linda Van Dillen, just to name a few. So I probably would say, we're interested in disease mechanisms and understanding disease progression in skeletal diseases, and more specifically interested in low back pain and osteoporosis. We're developing a lot of these studies concurrently in animal models and in humans to better understand how the disease affects and progresses in individuals. And our overall goal is to develop therapies and disease modifying strategies for these diseases. We're interested in translating a lot of our findings between the laboratory to the clinic, and some of our work has already started in human populations. So we want to see if some of the biomarkers that we're starting to find in the lab in humans can be readily generalized to other populations. So younger people, or people with back pain, to see if some of those trajectories can be predicted by our biomarkers. And in the laboratory, we're sort of looking at really innovative ways to look at pain and better understand the crosstalk between intervertebral disc pathogenesis and the nervous system, and really understand both the symptoms of pain and how it progresses, as well as the musculoskeletal disorder itself. So these are all really exciting things that we're looking forward to in the next 5 years and beyond. We have some collaborations in industry, and some of those came about actually through academic collaborations that grew into industry collaborations. So I very early on in my career, I had collaborated with Dr. Paul Hansma, and he was working on commercializing a device to measure bone strength in humans, in patients. And so we collaborated over the years, and the company that he spun off started to grow, and we started to answer some questions that are relevant to both industry and academics. Our collaborations have really gotten some interest, and we've just gotten some NIH support to further our collaboration. So with industry, I would say, it's really important to, remember why, we're interested in academic questions. We're interested in answering questions that are in a mechanistic and in a very detailed manner. And it's also important to sort of keep in mind a lot of these answers need to have a clinical importance for the companies to succeed. So, sort of balancing those two needs and perspectives have really been interesting. Yeah, so that actually came out of the interest in low back pain and low back pain in humans. So the degree that I completed pretty recently was the Master's in Clinical Investigations, and it's a degree that I completed at WashU sort of part-time while I was running the lab. And it really helped me to think about designing studies, looking for outcomes, and better understanding human and populational level biostatistics to design human-based studies. And it's been really helpful to sort of understand the nitty-gritties of what goes into a clinical design, what are some of the considerations, and a lot of the hands-on, like, practical aspects. So this degree, just a lot of the coursework sort of laid the foundations for being able to think about the next steps for human-based studies. And it was kind of it was a lot of work to try to complete, but it was well worth the time investments. So nowadays, we just like to spend a lot of time outside. Spend time with my kids, biking, just taking walks, going to like the botanical garden, the zoo, really just anything to be outside, get some fresh air. My work is otherwise fairly sedentary, so it's nice to just kind of get some movement, and it's good for the kids, and and it's quite compatible with the pandemic lifestyle. So we just like to spend as much time outside as possible. Oh, my favorite thing. So my first ORS was in 2004. I think I was like a first or second year grad student. And my favorite thing about the ORS, and it still remains true today, is just going to the meetings and meeting people. And it's a really strong community that really emphasizes mentoring. I've met a ton of professional collaborations, from then to now. And so, it's just the community, and a lot of the programming is thoughtful. And so those have been incredible for my career development. And I think one of the most valuable aspects of the ORS. Research is something that you have to be passionate about, and once you've sort of decided that that's where your passion lies, then a lot of planning, thinking about what you're going to do next, and really investing the time in the fundamental work. So and talking to people and establishing connections, and really picking people's brains about how to get to the next steps, is really incredible. And that's something that the ORS has been very important for supporting as well.